for Potomac River at Shepherdstown, 4.2. Potomac River at Point of Rocks, 3.6. Potomac River at Edwards Ferry, 6.1. Potomac River at Little Falls, 4.2. North Fork Shenandoah River near Strasburg, 2.6. South Fork Shenandoah River at Front Royal, 2.4. Shenandoah River at Millville, 3.7. Rappahannock River at Remington, 3.9. Rappahannock River above Fredericksburg, 2.8. Rapidan River near Culpeper, 1.5. Opequon Creek near Martinsburg, 2.5. Seneca Creek at Dawsonville, 2.3. Goose Creek near Leesburg, 2.2. Monocacy River at Frederick, 3.0. This is the NOAA Weather Radio All Hazard Station KHP 36, broadcasting from the National Weather Service Office in Sterling, Virginia, and transmitting on a frequency of 162.550 MHz from an antenna located in Manassas, Virginia. This is a statement from the National Weather Service. Small craft advisory remains in effect from midnight tonight to 6 p.m. Sunday. Small craft advisory will expire at 4 p.m. this afternoon. North winds 10 to 15 knots with gusts up to 25 knots expected. The areas affected include Pawtuxet River to Brooms Island, Maryland, and tidal Potomac from Indian Head to Cobb Island, Maryland. The hazardous weather conditions are expected from midnight tonight to 6 p.m. Sunday. Impacts, conditions will be hazardous to small craft. Inexperienced mariners, especially those operating smaller vessels, should avoid navigating in hazardous conditions. This is a statement from the National Weather Service. Small craft advisory remains in effect until 6 p.m. this evening. Small craft advisory remains in effect from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sunday. Northwest winds around 10 knots with gusts up to 20 knots. The areas affected include tidal Potomac from Key Bridge to Indian Head, Maryland. The hazardous weather conditions are expected for the small craft advisory until 6 p.m. this evening. For the small craft advisory from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sunday. Impacts, conditions will be hazardous to small craft. Inexperienced mariners, especially those operating smaller vessels, should avoid navigating in hazardous conditions. The current time is 6:11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is a statement from the National Weather Service. For the following counties in West Virginia, Berkeley, Hampshire, Jefferson and Morgan, and Washington, Maryland. Winter weather advisory in effect from 10 p.m. this evening to 1 p.m. Sunday. Snow expected. Total snow accumulations of 1 to 2 inches with up.
Hey, what's going on, guys? I hope y'all are having a great day so far. I hope you guys are staying safe out there. We're going to go ahead and get on into the stream here right in a second. So guys, if you're just now joining us, obviously welcome. Hope y'all are having a great day so far. So we're going to be doing a Q&A for you guys. Basically, if you have any questions for this winter system, if anything's coming up that you need to, if there's any questions that you guys have, feel free to throw them down in the chat below. Otherwise, if you guys are just now joining us, welcome. Hope y'all are having a great day so far. So we'll be getting into it here in 1 second. So we have a bit to talk about today. There is a few things that is currently going on here at the moment. Don't mind if you hear that playing in the background, but we do have a few things that is currently going on here at the moment. We actually do have some snow that is actually ongoing here across bits of the southeast into the Tennessee Valley. You can see it right now. This is the beginning of the system that we are taking a look at. This is our current thing we are monitoring at the moment. So all this is moving its way here to the east. I should probably get my pins thing up here so you guys, I can actually write on the screen for you guys. But yeah, we are currently dealing with this system that is tracking its way over to the mid-Atlantic here at the moment. So we'll be monitoring this over the next little bit. If you guys are just now joining us, welcome. Hope y'all are having a great day so far. Hope you guys are staying safe here. Here we go. Let me go ahead and get this pin up for you guys. That way I can actually write on the screen. Okay, so all of this moisture that you do see right here, this is tracking its way here basically to the northeast, east-northeast. This is actually going to allow for some snow to fall, kind of across bits of the northeastern states into bits of the mid-Atlantic. We'll get the snowfall totals here in a moment for you guys, because we are expecting a decent amount of snow. They've actually upped the totals overall The National Weather Service was showing about less, or maybe around an inch or so, but it's actually a little bit higher now. We'll get into that here more in 1 second, but like I said, guys, if y'all are just now joining us, welcome. Hope y'all are having a great day so far. Hope you guys have been staying safe with all the craziness that's going on here in the world between, obviously COVID and between what's going on with the crazy weather that we've been dealing with. I mean, things are not letting up anytime soon. It does look like we do have a bit we need to talk about. Because, like I said before, not only is winter weather going to be a concern, but severe weather will as well. And we'll actually take a look at that more here in a second, more in depth. Like I said, guys, if you have any questions regarding the system, feel free to throw them down in the chat. I'll definitely try to get to them for you guys, because obviously safety is the number one concern here. That is the number one priority, is to make sure that you guys are safe, and just to make sure that you guys know what to prepare for. So, so like I said, we're taking a look here at the current radar view in regard to what is going on at the moment. We are seeing a lot of heavy snow that's actually starting to kind of form here, basically along this cold front, because we are seeing this cold front advance its way through the region here at the moment. We'll take a look here at the future radar here actually right now. So we're going to go ahead and switch our scenes here. Currently it is 6:15, so we're going to go ahead and switch our radar here over to the future radar. So this is kind of what we are expecting here down the line. Let me move my keyboard so I can actually type on it for you guys. So we see all the snow that really starts to kind of kick off here, which we've already been seeing it go on here for quite a while. I mean, in this morning's video, we actually did see that it was snowing across bits of the southern plains here. And all this is actually tracking its way over here, basically 2 bits of, basically to the northeast here, as we were seeing. Let's go ahead and do this. Like I said, let's go ahead and get my thing up here for you guys, so if you have any questions, I'll be able to give it to you all. But like I said, guys, if y'all are just now joining us, welcome. Hope y'all are having a great day so far. So like I said, we are currently dealing with this situation. We'll actually go ahead and zoom in here. 2 bits of the northeast. Here we go. This is a better view. So, in regard to things, you can't see the time on this, unfortunately. I'll probably try to change that here next time. But I will definitely tell you guys the time we're talking here. So right now, this is looking for around 1 o'clock in the morning. We're going to start to see a lot of the snow enter bits of northern Virginia here. It's going to start snowing right around midnight. It's kind of when we are expecting the snow to start falling across these areas here. This will basically grow in size over the midnight hours here. I mean, we're talking 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. We're going to start to see all this really start to kind of ramp up here. And all of this is going to continue to move its way to the northeast, as we are going to get a new area of low pressure that will develop across basically the mid-Atlantic coast here. So this is going to be, basically just grabbing up all of this moisture that we currently have here, and it's going to basically be, amplifying off of that. So we are currently seeing some snow that's going to be impacting bits of Virginia and 2 bits of the northeastern states, kind of just hugging the coast here. You can kind of see it just right here along the coastline. This is for early tomorrow morning. Right now, this frame in particular is for tomorrow afternoon. So we are going to see a bit of impacts here. All the way down from the mid-Atlantic, all the way up here into the northeast. Now, like I said, guys, if you have any questions at all, if you have any questions regarding this system, feel free to throw them down in the chat below. I will definitely try to get to them for you guys. Because, like I said, obviously, the most important thing is that you guys are safe. That's all I care about, is to make sure that you guys are safe and make sure you guys are prepared for the system. Because, like I said, these systems can be pretty impactful. And this one is, honestly, it's nothing too crazy by any means, but it can definitely still have some impacts. And like I said, not to mention we have an even larger system coming up. We'll discuss a little bit of that in today's live stream. But obviously our kind of main concern here right now is the one that's coming on right here across the mid-Atlantic into the northeast. So, but guys, like I said, if you're just now joining us, welcome. Hope you all are having a great day so far. Hope you guys are staying safe here. So this is a current or future radar view. We are expecting a lot of the snow is really going to start to kind of build in the mid-Atlantic view. I mean, for northern Virginia into Maryland, kind of around the midnight hour here. Kind of around, maybe 12 o'clock in the morning here. This is a 12 o'clock frame. Maybe some rain mixing in according to your NAM 3-kilometer model here. But if we switch on over to the radar view, basically the current local radar view across bits of West Virginia, I'll go ahead and switch there now, you will notice that we actually have a bit of snow that's actually going on across bits of eastern Kentucky and through bits of West Virginia. This is all tracking its way here, basically 2 bits of the northeast. We'll go ahead and switch on radars here for you guys. So we'll go ahead and switch radars here, basically to get a better view. So this is probably going to crash. It usually does at this point. Give it a second. It usually takes a little bit. I don't know why it does that, but it decides to glitch out every once in a while. But what we can do right now, So you can take a look here at the radar or the national radar view. So this is what we're seeing as of right now. We're seeing snow all the way down the southeast, all the way down the region here at the moment. We are seeing snow all the way from bits of Mississippi and through bits of Tennessee, basically central and eastern Kentucky, and through bits of West Virginia as well. We are currently seeing the snow that is falling across the region. It does look like there is a little bit of shower activity across bits of northern Virginia, but, according to our local radar, that is kind of the case, only a little bit more further west. So I don't know what's going on with that here. So, but let's see. Like I said, guys, if you have any questions, feel free to throw them down in the chat below. I'll definitely try to get to them for you guys. If you are new to the channel, guys, consider subscribing. We're almost here at 380 subscribers. We're here at 1 away. So, guys, if you're not already, hit that subscribe button. That'd be greatly appreciated. Basically, like I said, we're just trying to give you guys the latest coverage in regard to this system here. Because, honestly, this thing, not so big, but it can definitely do some impacts. But now I kind of want to shift, guys, and talk about the concern of severe weather. This is kind of what we've been monitoring, and there is the potential that we could see some pretty nasty severe weather coming up here. We'll get to that here in 1 second here. But guys, like I said, if y'all are just now joining us, welcome. Hope y'all are having a great day so far. So we're going to go ahead and move on over here to the GFS model in regard to things. We're going to take a look here at, let's go, actually, I'm going to turn this down. Turn my no weather radio down a little bit. But we're going to take a look here at basically the features of the GFS to see what we are expecting here in regard to severe weather. Because like I said, we are expecting the possibility of some severe storms. Unfortunately, that does include some tornadoes too. So we're going to go ahead and take a look here at that in the latest run. So in our video, we went over the 12Z run. This is now the 18Z. So this is newer data. This has not been seen on the channel yet. So we're going to take a look at that here right now. So switching on over here to the GFS, guys. So we're taking a look here at the southeast because this is where we are currently monitoring. So you might notice, you can kind of see these little wind barbs here. This is basically pointing in the direction of where the wind is flowing. So you can kind of see this little notch. They're kind of like this, right? It's kind of hard to see that on the white background. Let's actually change colors. So we're going to change it to black so you guys can see it a little bit better. So they kind of look something like this, right? This little point right here is the direction it's pointing in. So imagine a little arrow here. So this is moving to the west. So that's how you essentially read these wind barbs. Now the longer line here is showing 10 knots. Smaller line showing 5 knots. But that's besides the point here right now. What we're looking at is what's going to happen with these wind barbs as we go through time. So this is for the 16th, just the day before it starts kicking up. So you might notice that all these wind barbs start pushing up north. Basically, what this is showing is that all the warm air that the sun has evaporated here inside of the Gulf of Mexico is actually starting to move its way up north because the winds are blowing to the north here. So we're going to get all this instability starting to kind of build in here. You can kind of see kind of across the purple areas here into the pink. This is our instability. This is basically a requirement for severe weather to occur. Now, as we do track down here further, you'll notice that our wind barbs start to look pretty mean with these little basically black triangles here. This is actually showing that winds are basically pushing to the east here at around 50 knots. So this is showing some pretty strong winds backing behind it, and this would be the colder sector. So this is where all the cold air is behind the system, pushing it to the east, and all the warm air is coming up from the northeast. So we notice that we do have a bit of instability that is in play here across bits of Louisiana, bits of Mississippi. This will track its way generally to the east here, maybe even lag for some storms to fire off here. Across bits of eastern Texas into Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, bits of Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina. Might see some severe weather out of this, for the most part. This is what we are taking a look here at right now. This is basically, like I said, your storm's energy. So if we grab a sounding here, this is something we have not done quite yet. I don't even know if my screen can fit the sounding, but we'll see how this works out. Well, we'll take a look at what we're expecting here. So yeah, you can't see that, but essentially what it is that you can see the winds are actually turning as you go up in the atmosphere, which allows for a lot of spin to kind of kick up here in the atmosphere. So that is what we are seeing at the moment. So we do track down here as this cold front does advance. You can see like all this air. Essentially what is going on here is we have the northeaster flow tracking its way up here to the northeast, dragging up all of this warm moisture along with it. The cold air backing behind the system here. And there's all this moisture, all this warm air is moving its way to the north here. And so what we're seeing is that overall we are seeing a bit of instability in play, which is allowing for storms to fire off. So this is basically like the storm's fuel. Think of it like this. A good way to explain what I'm trying to say here is there's really a few ingredients that is needed for severe thunderstorms to occur. There's 3 main ingredients. You have moisture, you have shear, and instability. Instability is what we're taking a look at. All right, so imagine a storm system as an engine, right? Imagine a storm as an engine. So this is the fuel. This is your gasoline needed for the engine to run. And to get it running, to keep it running, that's what we call shear. Basically just, winds at different levels of the atmosphere, which helps organize the storms. And then the moisture is kind of like your oil. I guess you can keep things going, keep things like lubricated, which, obviously there's nothing being lubricated, but you know what I mean, to kind of keep things in line. So that is what we are talking about here. We have our fuel. There is enough fuel here for tornadoes to drop and severe weather to occur. And there is enough shear to keep this engine running. So we see all these wind barbs pushing their way up here. You can barely see them here on the screen, but if you look really closely, they're pushing themselves up here to the northeast. Now watch this. I'm going to keep my marker here on the screen here. We're going to switch on over to 925 millibar shear. So this is basically taking a look at the winds from the lower portion of the atmosphere. And there is a very, very important factor here you guys are going to see, and this is the reason we are expecting tornadoes. So we do track down here in time. You can actually see all this energy is moving its way directly north. So what is going on here is that at the upper levels, the mid to upper levels of the atmosphere, we have the winds that are moving to the northeast. The lower levels, we have the winds that are moving to the north. So you notice they're not flowing in the same direction. So they change, as you go up in altitude, they change direction from north to the northeast. And whenever they do that, it creates spin in the atmosphere, which allows the conditions, if the instability kind of lines up here with all of our shear that we're dealing with, unfortunately any new updraft that can form could potentially become tornadic. Let's go see. Taniel says, hi, what's up, Taniel? Welcome to the live stream. I hope you're doing good. Glad to see you here. But like I said, guys, that is what we are dealing with. So we do have the shear, we have the instability. So now, let's take a look here at the moisture content in regard to basically what we can expect here, basically what we are looking at. So like I said before, you do want to see your dew points here in the 50s and 60s. 60s more preferably. 70s are good too, but I don't think we're going to be dealing with 70s for this system here. So, but we do track down. You can see all this advection goes on. Basically, all this the north-northeaster flow starts to take place. We get all this rich dew points, all these rich moisture, basically from the evaporated water vapor that's inside of the Gulf of Mexico from the sun, because it's closer to the equator, obviously it heats up more and evaporates more. So all this gets drawn up here. All this moisture gets pulled up into the southeast. And you can see, raising our dew points here in the 60s, which is definitely supportive of the fact that honestly, this is good enough dew points for severe thunderstorms to form. And on top of it, tornadoes also being a concern. So, like I said, guys, if you have any questions, feel free to throw them down in the chat below. I'll definitely try to get to them for you guys, because honestly, like I said before, safety is obviously our number one concern here. Because, like I said, not only are we dealing with severe weather, but we're also dealing with a winter side of things too. We're dealing with all types of weather here, and we're going to do everything we can to give you guys the latest coverage in regard to these systems here. So, like I said, this is what we're doing here. Taniel says, "How are you doing today?" I'm doing good, Taniel. I'm glad to see you here. I hope you're doing good as well. But yeah, so like I said, guys, that is essentially what we are dealing with here at the moment. So we're going to go ahead and take a look here at what we call Supercell Composite. This basically takes your shear and your instability and kind of blends them together here. Honestly, we are seeing those higher values here. Honestly, over the last few trends, they have actually been getting pretty worse. We are expecting severe weather pretty much all across these areas here. We are expecting some severe weather to occur across the southeast. Because like I said, the Gulf is going to play a huge role in this severe weather event. The Gulf of Mexico is supplying all the moisture that this system needs to generate thunderstorms, which is going to allow for, because naturally in wintertime, our atmosphere is much colder. Obviously, you guys can tell that. Even if you just step outside right now, you can probably tell it's colder versus whenever it's, versus in the middle of summer. So the atmosphere is naturally colder from all levels of the atmosphere. Now, what happens whenever you get the warm air pushing on the lower levels is that creates instability, which creates buoyancy, which allows for these thunderstorms to really pop off and really start to explode. So that is what we are seeing here right now. So, like I said, guys, please stay safe with this. We are dealing with a potentially violent atmosphere coming up here pretty soon. Now, it's not the worst I've seen, obviously. This is, we're still in the middle of winter time. But this is definitely something to keep your eyes on. Let's go and see here. Tano says me and my team are trying to guess what's going to happen. You know, honestly, there is a decent amount of support. I will say, Tano, I have seen tornadoes pop off in around 500 mixed layer Cape. It's definitely happened before. With the amount of shear that we have, I mean, we're talking 50 knots of just 925 millibar shear. So we have that lower level jet in place, which is definitely going to kick off tornado genesis. Definitely. So, you know, honestly, even when it comes to the time of, current observations might actually show we have more instability. We'll have to see how, but the models have been trending a little bit more severe in terms of things. That's the concerning part, is the models have been getting a lot more aggressive. So we're just going to have to continue monitoring this over the next little bit. But guys, like I said, if you're just now joining us, welcome. Hope you all are having a great day so far. So we're going to go ahead and switch on over here to the radar view. This is our local radar view. We are dealing with a little bit of rain shower activity across bits of the mid-Atlantic, northern Virginia, and through bits of Maryland, northern Delaware as well. We are currently dealing with a little bit of stuff currently happening here. Pop Popcorn says, hello, what's up? Welcome to the live stream. I hope you're doing good. Hope you're having a great day so far. Sorry I didn't go live stream on Wednesday because, you know, one, my software was being stupid. It didn't want to work. Finally, luckily I got it fixed. I'm glad I got it fixed. And I was going to stream the day after, but I ended up going out and doing things, so I didn't have time to live stream for you guys. So sorry about that on my end, but the main thing is that we are live here right now. So, like I said, guys, if you're just now joining us, if you have any questions, throw them down in the chat. I'll definitely try to get to it for you guys, because like I said, we are currently monitoring. We are about to deal with our first winter system. It's getting ready to kick off here tonight across the mid-Atlantic into the northeast, as well as we are preparing for another storm system, another more complex system, a larger system. It's going to impact bits of the central and eastern part of the country. And this is actually going to allow for all types of weather to occur. Ice, snow, and unfortunately severe weather. And this does include tornadoes. So, we'll continue watching this over the next little bit. But guys, we're going to go ahead and take a break here for about 5 or 10 minutes or so. So hang tight. If you are new to the channel, consider subscribing. We're just one subscriber away, guys, from 380 subscribers. My mind's all over the place. But anyways, guys, but thank you so much for all your guys' support. Popcorn says, I'm doing great, thanks. You're very, very welcome. I'm glad to see you here tonight. So guys, like I said, just hang tight here for a little bit, 5 or 10 minutes or so. You know, go get yourself a little snack or something and come back to the stream, and we'll talk more about what's coming up next. But guys, we'll be back here in about 5 or 10 minutes. See you guys here in a moment.
Tonight, a chance of rain until midnight, then snow and rain after midnight. Snow accumulation around an inch. Lows around 30. North winds 5 to 10 miles an hour with gusts up to 20 miles an hour. Chance of precipitation near 100%. Sunday, snow, mainly in the morning. Additional snow accumulation around an inch. Total snow accumulation up to 3 inches. Cooler with highs in the mid-30s. North winds 5 to 10 miles an hour with gusts up to 25 miles an hour. Chance of snow near 100%. Sunday night, partly cloudy until midnight, then becoming mostly cloudy. Lows in the lower 20s. North winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. Monday, partly cloudy. Highs in the lower 30s. Tuesday, mostly clear. Highs in the lower 40s. Lows in the upper 20s. Wednesday, mostly cloudy. Highs in the lower 50s. Lows in the mid-40s. Thursday, rain. Highs in the mid-60s. Lows in the upper 30s. Chance of rain 80%. Friday, partly cloudy. Highs in the upper 40s. Lows in the mid-20s. This hazardous weather outlook is for the Maryland portion of the Chesapeake Bay, tidal Potomac River, and I-95 corridor through central Maryland, northern Virginia, and District of Columbia. Day 1, this afternoon and tonight. Winter weather advisories are in effect starting at 1 a.m. tonight for the Washington and Baltimore metropolitan area. Days 2 through 7, Sunday through Friday. Winter weather advisories continue until Sunday afternoon for the Washington and Baltimore metropolitan area. There is a potential for heavy rain on Thursday into Thursday night, which may produce isolated instances of flooding or flash flooding. Spotter information statement. Spotter activation is not expected at this time. Now for the National Weather Service marine forecast for the Chesapeake Bay from Sandy Point to North Beach. Rest of this afternoon. Northwest winds 10 knots. Waves 1 foot. Tonight, north winds 10 to 15 knots with gusts to 25 knots. Waves 2 to 3 feet. snow with a chance of rain. Visibility 1 to 3 nautical miles. Sunday, north winds 15 to 20 knots with gusts to 25 knots. Waves 3 feet. Snow. Visibility 1 to 3 nautical miles. Sunday night, north winds 10 to 15 knots with gusts to 25 knots. Waves 3 feet. Monday, northwest winds 10 to 15 knots, becoming west 5 to 10 knots after midnight. Waves 2 to 3 feet, subsiding to 1 foot after midnight. Now for the National Weather Service marine forecast for the tidal Potomac from Key Bridge to Smith Point, rest of this afternoon. Northwest winds 10 knots. Waves 1 foot. Tonight, north winds 10 to 15 knots. Gusts up to 20 knots, increasing to 30 knots after midnight. Waves 1 to 2 feet. Rain likely with snow. Visibility 1 to 3 nautical miles. Sunday, north winds 10 to 15 knots with gusts to 30 knots. Waves 2 feet. Snow and rain. Visibility 1 to 3 nautical miles. Sunday night, north winds 10 to 15 knots with gusts to 25 knots.
Alrighty, guys. I am back here for 1 second here. So let's go and see. Popcorn says there's going to be a shot of snow in the next 7 hours. Yeah, actually here for me as well. Here in Northern Virginia, we actually are kind of expecting a little bit more than actually what the we were expecting at first here. Popcorn says mostly the weekend is upper 40s and 50s.
Alright, guys.
Oh. I didn't mean to keep that on. But yeah, honestly, it's actually been pretty warm. Especially yesterday. It was really warm. I think it got up to 67 here in Northern Virginia yesterday. It was really warm. Let's see here. Here's my new phone case. I've had it for a while, but I think it's pretty cool. It's actually of the, which one was this? Was this the El Reno tornado? Well, you can see it. The case kind of broke, but kind of see it right there. It's a little bit broken, but there is, right here's the hook echo right here. You can see it's pretty cool. I really need to get a new phone case, but let's see here. I want to see exactly how much I am expecting here now. Rain says this will be my second year without a tornado warning. You don't know that, Rain, because the severe season hasn't even begun yet. Let's see. For me, it's expected to get to less than an inch according to night, and tomorrow morning, less than an inch as well. Not much. Evan says severe weather preparedness week, Missouri and Kansas, March 7th through 11th. 2022. That's definitely good. Yeah, we definitely need to have our preparedness. Honestly, I plan on even doing something in like a special video to like what you guys should prepare for when it comes to these severe weather events. Because honestly, it's good to prepare well ahead of time. It's good to have a plan for all these scenarios. From winter weather all the way to severe weather. Okay, now the winter weather advisory here. Don't click on that link you just got. There's a bot. Let me actually remove that. But the winter weather advisory is in effect for me. Like I was saying, that we're supposed to get less than an inch apparently. But the advisory says maybe up to 4 inches being possible. So obviously that's a little bit of a different story here. Let's see. Let me remove this message for you guys. You don't want to click on these sketchy links because I don't know exactly what they do, but I know they're not good. Let's see here. But yeah, that is what we are doing. So guys, like I said, if you all are just now joining us, obviously welcome. Hope you guys are staying safe. Hope you guys are doing good here. Have any questions? Throw them down in the chat. I'll definitely try to get to them. So we're going to go ahead and move on over here to our radar view. Across the region. This is across bits of basically the eastern part of the country. We actually are seeing a bit of snow that's actually going all the way down from Mississippi. All the way down from Mississippi, all the way up here to bits of the mid-Atlantic. Now this will continue to track its way here to the east, because we are seeing this cold front advance its way through the region here. Let me actually I can move that out of the way so you guys don't have to see that. But this is the system we are dealing with. And like I said, this will eventually track its way up here more, eventually more up here to bits of the mid-Atlantic, not that far south. At least I don't think. It's going around down here all the way up to the northeast. We are expecting snow to kind of impact the regions here. Honestly, it's mostly going to stick to the coastlines from what it looks like. Man, I really need to turn this volume down. Yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, like I said, we are expecting that to occur here. So we'll just continue monitoring this here over the next little bit. I'm kind of curious to see just what this is going to do. I guess we can take a look at models regarding this. So if we switch on over here, switch on over to models for you guys, because I want to, I've been looking at the latest models in regard to things. So switching on over here to the forecast models, we're going to take a look here at the GFS first in regard to how much we can see here in the beginning. So switching over here to the 10-to-1 snow ratio across the region here. So we're going to see just how much snow we can expect. GFS is kind of acting a bit strange here. Look at this. Let's get a closer view on this. So GFS is actually showing 9 inches at max. We just run 9 inches kind of across the Blue Ridge. That's a bit crazy. Here locally, we're talking maybe here locally in Prince William County, it's actually showing more 3 to 5. That's a bit upgraded here. Honestly, the GFS has gotten a little bit more aggressive here. Let's see what the ECMWF model has to say. I haven't really looked at this one quite yet. Okay, so this one's a totally different story. So there obviously still is a bit of disagreement here. I mean, same thing, maybe isolated pockets here across bits of the Blue Ridge Mountains here, maybe even up to near 5 inches or so. But for the majority that can hear near me, we're talking more, maybe 2 inches according to this model. So there is obviously a bit of disagreements here. But in terms of the National Weather Service blend of models, yeah, this one's a little bit more trustworthy, I'd say, because this one just takes a whole bunch of models and kind of blends them together here. So we're talking maybe up 3 to 5 across the western side here, especially just west here of the Blue Ridge Mountains. Near the I-95 corridor, we're kind of talking maybe 1 to 3 inches, with locally higher amounts over 3 inches being possible. The northeast kind of 1 to 3 as well. But honestly, it's a little clipper system. It's a nice little clipper system we are dealing with here. In regard to your GDPS model, this is your Canadian model. Honestly, yeah, there is a lot of similarities. All the similarities are actually showing the fact that we're going to see our heaviest snowfall pretty much just west here of the Blue Ridge. That's kind of where we are expecting to see the most snowfall out of the system here. According to this, it's actually kind of showing a little bit more between the two models we just looked at across bits of the northeast. So, we'll see what happens here. I mean, obviously there is a possibility we could see over half a foot of snow across bits of the western Blue Ridge. But, like I said, that's just something that we're going to need to continue looking at here for a second. Let's go and see here. Popcorn says we mostly get an inch or two. Honestly, yeah. Honestly, we can take a look here at the National Weather Service forecast here. Let me actually pull this up here for 1 second for you guys. We're going to look at the LWX winter, because here we have the official National Weather Service forecast for our local area here. Let's go ahead and pull up. I don't know if my screen's going to be big enough to show this. It's kind of, yeah, it's good enough, I guess. Okay, this is kind of our expected range in terms of what we are expecting here. Maybe 1 to 2 inches across bits of these areas here. Pretty much near just west of the I-95 and east of the I-95 corridor, we are seeing a possibility of maybe up to 1 to 3 inches. Like I said, more, according to what the model outputs were showing, is the fact that we are likely going to see the heaviest snowfall basically near Staunton, Harrisonburg, maybe near Luray. Pretty much just anything west here to Blue Ridge. It's kind of where we are expecting the worst. Now, this is the expected snowfall. There is 2 more things we're going to look at here. Here's the low-end snowfall. At the absolute worst-case scenario here. This is the worst-case scenario here. Still looking over 2 inches across near Staunton. Still kind of clipping its way through the region. Maybe a half inch near Warrenton. Maybe near 3/10 of an inch near Baltimore, according to this. But here's the crazy end. This is basically showing the high end. This only has a 10% chance of happening. So this is showing kind of 4 inches, pretty much near the dark blue area here. 3 kind of across this medium blue color. More like 2 and 1 across these lighter blue shades. Now the areas, once you start to kind of reach this yellow, like tan shaded color here, right around in here, this is where things get kind of crazy. This is kind of where we are talking potentially over 5+ inches of snow. Some areas, according to this, is actually looking pretty crazy. Let's go and see. Brain says, how bad is spring going to be? Honestly, it's probably going to be bad compared to what we have been seeing here right now. Over the last little bit. I mean, we're already starting to see these systems already starting to kick up here. I believe we're going to be near end zone neutral conditions, which I think either weak La Nina is what we are expected to be in, or it's going to be into neutral, basically just normal conditions. But we will see. That's a subject definitely to change here. We'll do our spring forecast here in probably by the beginning of March, maybe end of February, beginning of March is kind of what I'm planning to do my thing here. Courtney says, like and sub everyone. Thank you, Courtney. Glad to see you here. But yeah, this is what we are dealing with here at the moment. Honestly, there is a decent amount. Here's your days 3 through 7. You can't even. I really need to make a screen just dedicated to this alone. Nothing on the horizon further down the line, which is obviously good news for impact reasons. But moving on back here to the radar view, here's our system. This is the person or the thing we're looking at here right now. We just now reached 380 subscribers, so thank you all so much for subscribing. That's greatly appreciated. You guys are the best. I really, really appreciate all of your support. But we actually are seeing all the snow across the region. I could probably pick a different color here. But we are seeing actually, ahead of this cold front here, we are seeing a bit of snow all the way down from bits of central Mississippi, all the way up through bits of the southern Ohio Valley, and through bits of the Mid-Atlantic. We are actually currently seeing this ongoing here at the moment. So this is going to continue progressing itself basically to the east-northeast, eventually dumping some snow across bits of the regions here, all the way up into bits of the northeast. Kind of just riding the coastline. Like I said, it's not really going to go too much further inland. It's not going to go too much more further inland. It's mostly just going to hang around the coast here. So the people towards the central and western sides of the states here, Pennsylvania and New York, don't expect much because honestly, like I said, this is kind of just mostly going to hug the side of the coast here for the most part. So this is what we are seeing here at the moment. Now, guys, I'm sure you all are wondering in regard to timing in terms of what we can expect here. So we're going to go ahead and move here over to our NAM 3-kilometer model in regard to our radar view. So switching on over to our future radar view, this is what we're talking about. This is what we're looking at here. So it's currently 7 o'clock, basically about 7 o'clock Eastern time. So obviously the future radar in terms of the NAM 3-kilometer model really isn't picking up on that snow. I could have definitely drew that better. Really isn't it really isn't pulling up the snow that we are currently seeing. It's kind of a bit weird. Because as we look on the actual radar view, there was obviously snow that was falling here, according to this. Now, if we move here in time, as we move right here to midnight, let's go and see here. Tano says, I'm going to get the snow line tomorrow. Honestly, the snow line is like the danger zone, because if it shifts a little west, things are, or depends on where, where the storm's coming from, but if you're on the snow line, it's either the balance between if you're getting a lot or getting not much at all, which the snow line always sucks. It seems like I always get it here, right here next to DC. So we are seeing, the snow really start to kind of kick off here, maybe around 11, 12 o'clock, right here around midnight. It's kind of when we're going to start to see some snow starting to fall across bits of the Mid-Atlantic. So we'll track its way here, basically here to the northeast. We'll get some snow that starts driving its way in here. So for around sunrise, maybe around 7 o'clock here in the morning, 6, 7 o'clock, we're going to see all the snow from bits of the Mid-Atlantic into the northeast. Like I said, just kind of riding the coast. It's not really expected to go too far inland here. Eventually, still kind of continuing to snow through the afternoon hours, kind of letting up here across the local region here in Virginia, kind of around the afternoon hours, kind of around maybe 3 o'clock, midday, across the region here. Maybe some snow showers can remain after this system. But then, something that we're actually going to look here at right now. Pay attention right here on the western coast. Watch this. So we move down here in time, right? You get some clouds starting to move in. You get this air mass starts coming in. Wait, what's that? Oh, there's a bunch of moisture starting to come in here. This is going to be the birth of a brand new system here. And this is going to be the one that is going to cause a lot of dangers between the severe weather across the south and all the winter impacts across bits of the Central Plains, into the Midwest, into bits of the Ohio Valley. So this is something that we need to continue watching, guys, for the next little bit, because honestly, this is going to cause some pretty big impacts here. Not only in regard to winter weather between ice and snow, but honestly, showing the possibility between severe weather as well. Let's go see here. Tano says, I live in Warwick, Rhode Island, so about the middle of the line. Rhode Island is that little state. You're literally in the smallest state. I have a question for you, Tano. I've always thought this. Why do they call it Rhode Island if it's not even an island? I've always wondered that. If you know it, since you're actually from Rhode Island, let me know. I don't know why they call it Rhode Island if it's not. Okay, so let's take this a step further here. let's progress further into the models. We're going to switch on over here to the GFS first, really quick here, because we're gonna take a look at the latest output here in terms of what this basically has to say. So we saw all that moisture starting to drive its way in here across the west here. You can see all of this, all of this moisture kind of just lingering around here. This is for basically the early hours here, the 16th. So for a few days out, this is about 4 days away. So there's still some time to change here, but this has kind of been the scenario here for the last little bit here. So we're going to see some of this moisture drive its way in the region. We're going to get a lot more kicking up here because we have this area of low pressure that's tracking its way off the eastern side here of Canada. This is going to cause all of that northeaster flow here. All this northeaster flow basically across the region here. So all this is going to start fueling the system. You'll get a kick here from the Gulf of Mexico, and bam, look at this. This does not look very, very nice. This right here is your cold front, and this is where we are going to see some severe weather between your cold air backing behind the system right at the back end of this cold front, and we have our warm air, all that tropical air moving its way up here to the northeast. So this is kind of clashing zone here, right where this cold front is. So we're going to see some severe weather across the south. We're going to see some snow kind of across the Midwest into bits of the western Ohio Valley here, as well as we do track down here even further. This area of low pressure is just going to strengthen even more. We're talking 980 millibars here. This actually gets into 970. It's kind of just scraping here across bits of, honestly, kind of just scraping past bits of the northeast. We're mostly going to see some rain across the northeast into bits of the mid-Atlantic into the southeast as well. Mostly out of the system, the snow is going to kind of remain across the central, Midwest, and Ohio Valley here. However, there has been a new trend. I don't know if you guys saw it in our latest videos. This is showing the low a little bit more further southeast. And the reason it's doing this, or the result that it's doing this, is actually allowing for that snow to move down further south along with it. So Michigan should honestly definitely have their eyes on this one. Let's go and see. Tanya says, no, when they found our island, they thought it was an island, but later on, it was not an island. That's pretty interesting. So thank you for that, Tanya. I've always wondered that. The fact that they knew it, they thought it was an island, but it wasn't an island. That's pretty funny. Let's see here, guys. If y'all are just now joining here, let's go see here. Popcorn says, 2 feet of snow possible in Wisconsin. Where are you talking about? Where are you seeing 2 feet possible? Hold on. I need to look at something here. 2 feet possible. Then he said, never mind. We're gonna look at Wisconsin anyways. Yeah. Listen, Popcorn, I don't know where you got your information from, but you should probably check your sources because Wisconsin, I mean, come on. 1 inch? 2 inches? Max? I don't know where you're getting 2 feet from. But yeah, this is kind of what we are expecting here as of now, guys, from the blend of models. I should probably change the scene here so that people don't get mistaked for the GFS model. But this is what we're talking about. Kind of 1 to 3 across this light blue shade area here, 3 to 5 across the dark blue. Popcorn says I heard it somewhere. Yeah, I would not trust that at all because obviously we're not seeing nothing like that here. 1 to 3 kind of across this light blue shade area here, 3 to 5 kind of across the dark blue. So, as it's not the most snowfall you've probably seen here, it can definitely still have its impact, and which is why we're definitely going to be going. Which is why we're going to definitely be doing things here. Tana says also a lot of storms hit Starbase earlier. Oh, what is that in? It's in southern Texas. What is it? Man, what is the place called? It's bothering me. I know the place. I know it by heart. What is it called? Man, what is the place called that Starbase is in? Elon Musk's SpaceX facility that they're doing all the testing with Starship. Where is that at? Dude, I know this. I used to watch this all the time, but right now I just can't think of it for some reason. Man, that's gonna bother me so much now. Now the fact that. So, yeah, like I said, guys, this is kind of what we are expecting here. At the moment, this is what we are expecting here. For now. Let's go and see. Popcorn says maybe Michigan will get a lot. Honestly, yeah, let's look at like Michigan. We'll get probably over, basically near 6 inches, over 6 inches being possible here. Maybe some instances, according to this, maybe up to 12 inches. But I wouldn't trust that worth anything because this will obviously change a lot. This will definitely change a lot by the time, basically the system comes down the line. Because like I said, this is still a few days out. Obviously, this still has a lot of time to change here. And we are going to still see this thing, or this thing is definitely going to still evolve. Daniel Boca Chica, you're right. I knew it. I've heard that name so many times. I used to always look it up whenever I was looking at the live Starship cameras. I'm glad that. Thank you for reminding me, because that would have absolutely driven me crazy. I mean, I can't believe. I'm very, very disappointed. I just can't believe I couldn't remember that. Man, that's crazy. Because I used to follow Starship all the time. If you guys don't know what that Starship is, you should check it out. It's pretty cool. Look up, if you guys haven't already, look up SN10. Serial number 10, SN10. We'll do Starship land. And you can see it launch. Basically what they do is, I actually have, where did it go? Somewhere around here I have, here it is. Well, it kind of broke. Here's a model of Starship. It kind of broke into two pieces here. But, right here. So this is what Starship kind of looks like here. Probably get a better view. This is what Starship looks like, right? So what this thing does is it launches up, it belly flops when it comes back down. So instead of like parachutes, they just threw out the parachutes. You don't need to do parachutes. So this thing falls down, it swings back up, and lands upright. You don't believe me? Go look up SN10. Absolutely crazy. It doesn't look like this. But there's another piece that goes under it. It's called Super Heavy, which is actually, it's really, really interesting. You guys should check it out. It's actually really, really cool. But there's another piece of the ship. This is just the second stage. This is the Starship part. This thing will eventually bring people to Mars, which is absolutely cool here. Daniel says Elon's presentation was a couple days ago. Full stack behind him. I didn't even see that. I really didn't even see that. I haven't been paying attention to it lately. I'm just ready for the orbital launch. I'm pretty sure that's what we're all waiting about right here. But like I said, this is just the second stage. There is another stage that goes on the bottom of it, which extends out this is about 1/3 of the ship itself, the whole entire thing, which is absolutely crazy. Getting a bit distracted here. But yeah, that is what we are seeing here at the moment. So we are expecting a decent amount of snow. Honestly, the most heaviest impacts does kind of look like it is across bits of central and southern portions of Michigan. Maybe even getting up to near maybe 6+ inches. Kind of what we are expecting here at the moment, according to this. So that is what we are seeing. So guys, we're going to go ahead and go on break mode here for a few seconds. So guys, hang tight here with us for a little bit. We're just going to go ahead and go on break here really quick. We'll be back in about 5 or 10 minutes. If you guys do want to support the stream, we do have our link in the description as well as the chat. You guys can check it out. But guys, we'll be back here in about 5 or 10 minutes or so. So just hang tight. Go get yourself a snack or a drink or whatever you need. If you are new to the channel, guys, consider subscribing. We greatly appreciate it. But guys, we'll be back here momentarily.
Seas 3 to 4 feet. Dominant period 5 seconds. Tuesday, northwest winds 5 to 10 knots. Seas 2 to 3 feet. Tuesday night, southeast winds 5 to 10 knots. Seas 2 to 3 feet. Wednesday, southeast winds 10 to 15 knots, becoming south 15 to 20 knots in the afternoon. Seas 3 to 4 feet. Wednesday night, south winds 15 to 20 knots. Seas 4 to 5 feet. The Northern Virginia mountain forecast for elevations above 2,000 feet, including the Skyline Drive. Winter storm warning in effect from 10 p.m. this evening to 4 p.m. Sunday. Tonight, cloudy. Rain likely in the evening. Snow. Snow accumulation of 1 to 3 inches. Lows in the mid-20s. Sunday, mostly cloudy. Snow. Additional snow accumulation around an inch. Highs in the lower 30s. Sunday night, cold. Mostly cloudy. A chance of snow showers. Little or no additional snow accumulation. Lows around 16. Monday, mostly sunny. Highs in the upper 20s. Tuesday, mostly clear. Lows around 20. Highs in the upper 30s. Wednesday, mostly cloudy. Lows in the mid-20s. Highs in the upper 40s. Thursday, mostly cloudy. Rain. Lows around 40. Highs in the upper 50s. This is the NOAA Weather Radio All-Hazard Station KHP36, broadcasting from the National Weather Service Office in Sterling, Virginia, and transmitting on a frequency of 162.550 megahertz from an antenna located in Manassas, Virginia. This is a statement from the National Weather Service. Small craft advisory remains in effect from midnight tonight to 6 p.m. Sunday. Small craft advisory will expire at 4 p.m. this afternoon. North winds 10 to 15 knots with gusts up to 25 knots expected. The areas affected include Pawtucket River to Brooms Island, Maryland, and tidal Potomac from Indian Head to Cobb Island, Maryland. The hazardous weather conditions are expected from midnight tonight to 6 p.m. Sunday. Impacts, conditions will be hazardous to small craft. Inexperienced mariners, especially those operating smaller vessels, should avoid navigating in hazardous conditions. This is a statement from the National Weather Service. Small craft advisory remains in effect until 6 p.m. this evening. Small craft advisory remains in effect from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sunday. Northwest winds around 10 knots with gusts up to 20 knots. The areas affected include tidal Potomac from Key Bridge to Indian Head, Maryland. The hazardous weather conditions are expected for the small craft advisory until 6 p.m. this evening. For the small craft advisory from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sunday. Impacts, conditions will be hazardous to small craft. Inexperienced mariners, especially those operating smaller vessels, should avoid navigating in hazardous conditions. The latest river levels in the Potomac, Shenandoah, and Rappahannock basins are as follows. All reports are current as of 6 p.m. and are measured in feet. For Potomac River at Shepherdstown, 4.2. Potomac River at Point of Rocks, 3.6. Potomac River at Edwards Ferry, 6.1. Potomac River at Little Falls, 4.2. North Fork Shenandoah River near Strasburg, 2.6. South Fork Shenandoah River at Front Royal, 2.4. Shenandoah River at Millville, 3.7. Rappahannock River at Remington, 3.9. Rappahannock River above Fredericksburg, 2.8. Rapidan River near
Okay, so guys, we're going to do something real quick. So I decided, as we were on the topic of Starship and everything, I know we're, doing a weather stream and stuff, but we're kind of hanging out as well. So what we're going to do is we are going to watch a small video. We're going to watch this for you guys because I wanted to show you guys exactly what this is. And I'm sure you guys probably, you might have. I know some of you definitely have. But I know also some of you probably haven't heard of this. And this is absolutely freaking crazy. So, we're going to look at something here. And we're going to go ahead and switch on over. So, I know it says GFS. I know it does. But this obviously isn't the GFS. And man, you cannot see anything. Let's try to get a better... Hazards? Nope. Forecast? Nope. But man, I'm trying to find the biggest thing I can use here. You know what? I can do this. So hold on one second. You're going to see some crazy stuff happen on screen. Don't mind it. Don't worry about it. This is Starship. This is what I was telling you guys about. This thing is absolutely crazy. So we're going to watch this video here. Probably make it a little bit better. Oh, that looks very weird. Okay. I'm actually going to remove this as well. Because you don't need that. Okay. There we go. That's good. So here's what we're going to do. Let me actually go ahead and pull this back up here for you guys. We're going to look at this. And it's honestly pretty freaking cool. So here we go. So this is what we call Starship. This is SN15. This was their latest test, at least I believe. I haven't watched anything since SN15. I believe this is their last one here. But here's what happens. I'm going to show you exactly what goes on with this. So it's about to start. 2 seconds. Here we go. So it looks like a normal rocket, right? This is, like I said, this is only the second part of this. This is only the second part. I could probably make that a little bit bigger. Honestly, let's remove this. Or let's move this up here. So here is Starship soaring through the clouds. Unfortunately, there was a cloudy day for that day, but still, it was a absolutely crazy sight to see. Absolutely cool. So here's the side camera. here's the side camera on the thing here. There's the engines. So this thing has 3 Raptor engines, what they call them. There are 3 Raptor engines here. These are the sea level Raptor engines. If you don't know about me, not only am I a weather person, but I also enjoy astronomy and rocketry as well. So I just thought I would go ahead and do a little treat for you guys and show you this. This is really cool. I was so fascinated with this. I literally would wake up every single morning just to watch this. Because they did one at like 8 o'clock in the morning, and it was, I think it was SN11. No, SN11 was horrible. I'm sure Tanya would understand that. So, this thing is burning through. We'll go ahead and skip a little bit of time here for you guys. Just kind of get to the best part. So, like I said, here you can kind of see you can really start to see the plumes here really kick off. Let's go ahead and move this, because I think the timer cut out here for a little bit. Yeah, it did have a little bit of a camera feed issue. So, here you go. Now, you probably didn't know what just happened here, so we'll go ahead and rewind here back to the stage right here. So, the engine's cut off. You notice that they're gimbaling here. So what it's doing is it's actually turning like this. It was like this. It was vertical, and now it's turning down. Tanya says they're working on Raptor 2 now. Yeah, I heard about that. And I remember he did an interview with Everyday Astronaut. And basically, what had happened is that we actually, or he said that it was like going to be like it's not going to look as messy as this. Like with all this plumbing you see on here, all this crazy plumbing that you see, it's not going to look like that. It's going to look much more cleaner. Here you go. You can kind of see the shadow here. Like I said, it was having a little bit of camera feed issues. It's not the stream. But this is what we were seeing here. So here's a side angle from this thing. Basically, you're on side of one of those flaps. So those flaps move back and forth. Absolutely crazy here. You know, honestly, if they do another stream like this, we might as well do it live. Why not? Because, you know, I guess this channel is along the borders of science. And so we'll see what goes on here. Because they are expected to do the whole entire launch here soon. Basically the overall, they're expected to do the overall full launch with Super Heavy and Starship as well. But it's absolutely cool here. Now watch this as we start to kind of move our way down here. All right, I'm going to pause it here for 1 second. So you might have noticed those engines kind of gimbal out. It's about to do something very, very amazing, and you guys are probably about to be amazed with this. And you should be, because this is the new era of generation that we are in. This is basically the new thing right here. Daniel says they showed Raptor 2 at Elon's presentation. Dude, I should have watched it. I totally missed that. Here we go. This thing is going into his landing phase. So what it's going to do, it's going to go from sideways. Like I said, it went up, came down, followed back down. Now it's going to kick back up and land. You're about to see this happen. So here we go. Engines fire off right here. You see one of them kicks off. There's 2 of them that are on. Here it comes. You can barely see it on the screen. Here you go. Let's go move that down a little bit. Look at this thing. Like, really, look at this thing. This thing is absolutely insane. And we'll also take a look at the other ones, too. It's pretty funny. This thing landed. This thing legitimately landed. You gotta think. Just take a moment and realize what just happened here. You had a ship. There it is right there. Perfectly safe and sound. Literally standing its way up. Straight up, going up, came back down, flipped, followed back down, shifted back up, and landed. Like, really. It's crazy. There was a bit of fire under here. Luckily, this one didn't have an incident that SN10 had. But this was, like I said, this was SN15. This was their most latest one. Now, I want to go ahead and show you guys something as well. We're going to show you different camera angles from this launch, because SpaceX actually did a different thing here. Here we go. They actually did a little bit of a recap of the system here. So here we go. So what happens? Tango says I should be in a call with you right now. But like I said, what happens? This thing launches. This basically gives the best angles here. This is basically a recap of what happened here. So goes to the clouds. Lose camera angles. Obviously, it goes up here. Here we go. Here's a flip. Here's a new view. Look how beautiful this is. Absolutely crazy. Staying flat. You get the flaps moving. You got this, basically the engine chill going on here. You got all the, I believe that's liquid oxygen cooling it down. There you go. There's a better view. I'm actually going to rewind that. I kind of missed that. So this thing pierces through the clouds. This is a new view we didn't see in the stream. See, it comes up. It sways. like flips back, and then it slowly starts falling here. And then there goes your landing legs. You got to see them. They start falling out. Absolutely crazy. Look at this thing. There's the view from the landing pad. Like, seriously, this is some next quality stuff, and it's amazing to see this. So we're gonna look here at. I know I'm kind of getting like lost and kind of getting way off topic here, but you know what, guys? We're taking a little bit of a break here. We're taking a break here from the weather. So right here, this is SN8. This is the very first Starship I actually saw launch. I believe they scrubbed this one here first. Yeah, Tanya says watch SN8. That's what we're watching here now. So we're going to... Yeah, they scrubbed it. You can see the sun going around the thing here. Oh, did I miss it? No. Okay, we're just kind of moving its way through here. Slowly moving it. Come on. It has to be towards the end here because obviously here. Oh, there we go. There she goes. Okay, here we go. This is the first one. I'm gonna move my screen here, change it so you guys can see it a little bit better. Okay, so here you go. Here's SN8. This is the very first one that actually launched here. The very, very first one that launched. Absolutely crazy here. So this thing launched normally. We're just going to show the end. So this is the very first test that they did. But this one had a very, very clear sight because it was a nice and clear day this day. You can barely see it, but here. There's the engines on the right-hand corner here. This one had a lot of problems you're about to see here in a second. So here comes the belly flop phase. So we didn't see this angle from SN15, but we did see it from... oh, here we go. Here comes the landing phase. So both of these ignite. We didn't see that belly flop phase from the first time. So here we go. Here's where the problem comes in. Yeah, it has a bit too much velocity. It completely just dies. And those poor cameras over there, just on the right hand side, they're just done. So that was SN8. This was the very first test. Then had SN9. Guys, we're not going to be doing this too much longer. I'm sure you guys are probably coming here to look at weather stuff and not me ranting about Starship. But hang tight for a minute. We're going to take a look here at this one as well. Okay. Here we go. Here is SN... Oh, you didn't see nothing. You're not seeing anything on your screen. Okay. There we go. So this one really had a big problem here. This one had a beautiful angle here. This is looking up in another clear day here. Yeah, SN8 was over a year ago. I think it was in December of 2020, I want to say. So here it comes. Oh yeah, this one had that cool angle. This one really had that cool angle here. Look at this. Yeah, watch. We get a top view with the camera looking up from the launch pad. This one was absolutely crazy. But, you know, honestly, unfortunately, just a little bit of a thing for y'all. This one didn't turn out too well. Okay, so it's coming towards the camera. Engines ignite. At least one of them does. That's the problem. See, the second one, you can really start to see there. That second one really fails. Let's go ahead and go back here a little bit. Watch closely. We're actually probably going to... I'm going to slow this down here for you guys. Playback speed. We're going to turn this down to half. Okay, so we're watching this at half speed now. Okay, so first one ignites. You can see that here. Okay, now watch. You see just a big plume of fire coming out of this one right here. So this one's very much struggling to ignite. You can see that it's not doing so good. It's having a very, very hard time at doing so. Here's a clear frame. You can see some fire inside the engine bay here. But obviously we look here, there's just one engine that's lit. So then what happens is the fact it can't do this, it can't get enough swing to move its way up, and it just falls sideways. That was not that good. Taniel says, can we get in the call? I would, Taniel, but right now, you know, whenever I try to load Discord on the streams, for some reason my computer's trashing it. really wants to mess up in terms of things. But maybe I'll try to get that optimized for a future stream. So not this one, but maybe next one. We'll see. But yeah, honestly, that's what happened here. That is essentially what happened and went on here. Now here's wait, did we already look at this one? Yeah, we didn't look at this one. Okay, guys, I promise this is the last one. This is the last one we're gonna look at. This was the first one that landed. There's 2 that landed overall. 2 of them landed overall here. So this one's SN10. So we went the previous 2. We looked at SN8, SN9. This one's SN10. So this is the latest one. So it takes off here. Absolutely crazy. This one had a really cool view. Oh wait, I'm still in half. That's why I was being a little bit slow. There we go. Okay. So this one takes off. Absolutely beautiful. So what it does is, what you just saw there was one of the engines turning off. So basically, yeah, see, it's cutting off those engines, because the reason it's doing that is actually to slow down its velocity. Here you go. Here's the flip. So it flips over, tucks in the wings, comes back down. So you can see the aft wings are tucked in, and then the front wings are still out. Basically just trying to get some flow to help keep the thing stable. So then this thing really comes down here. Oh, that's a cool angle. Looking at one of the flaps here. It doesn't look that big on the camera view, but it is enormous. Absolutely, seriously huge. Okay, so this thing comes down. Now, here we go. Here comes the ignition part, I'm pretty sure. Okay, there it goes. So we have all 3 of these engines ignite. So that's good. Right? What happens is good. Wings tuck in. Alright, 2 of the engines turn off here. So we just have 1. Should be enough velocity to get things going here. Wait a minute, what's this? Lua says, hi, what's up, Lua? What is this? Look at that. It lands, but if you look really closely, it kind of bounces. It gets a little bit of damage. You're about to see here in a second. So everything looks okay. I was even watching this one live. Everything looks okay. Everything looks like it's doing good. Until, doesn't show it in this one, but until it actually shows the thing literally blows up because it has like a methane leak or something. Let's go see here. Daniel says 50 meters tall. It is a tall thing. A very, very tall object. Okay, guys, so we're getting distracted here. So I just thought I'd go ahead and go over that with you guys. Pretty cool stuff. Definitely pretty cool stuff. So let's go ahead and move on here back to the weather view. We're going to go ahead and switch on over to the radar view. Go ahead and move this out of the way here. So this is what we are looking at the moment. We are actually seeing some of the snow. So the snow is already starting to go on here. We are already seeing all of it starting to kick off here. We do have a bit of snow from the cold front all the way down to bits of Mississippi and through bits of the Mid-Atlantic. So this will all continue to track its way here basically to the east, or basically to the east-northeast, eventually delivering some snow across bits of the regions here across the northeast and through bits of the Mid-Atlantic. So we are kind of expecting all the snow to move its way to the region here. Let's go and see here. Lewis says, not much, getting ready to do dishes and, getting ready to do dishes and other prepare for the future. I got you, Lua. Well, I'm glad to see you here tonight. I hope you're doing great. I hope you're having a wonderful night tonight. Well, like I said, all the snow that you are seeing right here, this is right where the cold front is at right now. And all of this is going to shift itself 2 bits of the east, basically to the east-northeast. Eventually, this will deliver some snow across the Mid-Atlantic into the northeast here down the line. So we'll continue monitoring this over the next little bit. I'm probably going to be streaming for quite a little bit. So like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to throw them down in the chat below. I'll definitely try to get to them for you guys. Because honestly, safety is the #1 concern here because we are expecting some impacts to occur. This is obviously like no major blizzard that's going on here. This is just a small little clipper system we are dealing with, but we are also watching another big system that is expected to occur. So that's what I'm saying. We need to watch that too. So let's say if you have any questions regarding these, definitely let me know. I'll definitely try to get to it. If you guys want a personal forecast in terms of how much you can expect here, let's go and see here. Not seeing anything in the Northeast for an entire week, just so. Honestly, I'm kind of curious to see what this spring is going to do. Because, models are pointing towards normal conditions. Like, climate models are pointing towards neutral conditions. So, kind of more maybe leading out to an average year, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Because right now we're already starting to see some severe weather starting to pop off here. Not right now, but in a little bit. Not in a few days, we'll see some severe weather pop off here. That's another thing we should probably go over here in a second. But honestly, we are expecting not only are we going to expecting to see some snow, ice, and stuff like that, we are going to also see some severe weather as well. Absolutely, it's going to be pretty crazy here. Alrighty, guys, so we're going to go ahead and take a break here for a minute. If you guys are just now joining, you joined at a wrong time, and I'm sorry. But we're going to be back in about 5 or 10 minutes or so grab a snack, grab something to eat, come back and join the stream when we're back here. We're going to be going over everything again here. If you guys do want to support the channel, we have our donation link in the description as well as the chat. You guys can check it out. If you do want to support the channel, it'd be greatly appreciated. But guys, we'll be back here in about 5 or 10 minutes or so I'll catch you all here in a moment.
Driveways, which could be icy and slippery, increasing your risk of a fall and injury. This is a statement from the National Weather Service. For the following counties, in Virginia, Eastern Highland, Northern Virginia Blue Ridge, Page, Rockingham, Shenandoah, and Western Highland, and the following counties, in West Virginia, Eastern Pendleton, Hardy, and Western Pendleton. Winter weather advisory remains in effect from 10 p.m. this evening to 1 p.m. Sunday. Snow expected. Total snow accumulations of 2 to 4 inches, with up to 6 inches locally. The areas affected include portions of northwest and western Virginia and eastern West Virginia. The hazardous weather conditions are expected from 10 p.m. this evening to 1 p.m. Sunday. Impacts. Plan on slippery road conditions. Additional details. The heaviest accumulations will be on non-paved surfaces. Slow down and use caution while traveling. When venturing outside, watch your first few steps taken on steps, sidewalks, and driveways, which could be icy and slippery, increasing your risk of a fall and injury. The latest river levels in the Potomac, Shenandoah, and Rappahannock basins are as follows. All reports are current as of 6 p.m. and are measured in feet. For Potomac River at Shepherdstown, 4.2. Potomac River at Point of Rocks, 3.6. Potomac River at Edwards Ferry, 6.1. Potomac River at Little Falls, 4.2. North Fork Shenandoah River near Strasburg, 2.6. South Fork Shenandoah River at Front Royal, 2.4. Shenandoah River at Millville, 3.7. Rappahannock River at Remington, 3.9. Rappahannock River above Fredericksburg, 2.8. Rapidan River near Culpeper, 1.5. Opequon Creek near Martinsburg, 2.5. Seneca Creek at Dawsonville, 2.3. Goose Creek near Leesburg, 2.2. Monocacy River at Frederick, 3.0. This is a statement from the National Weather Service. For the following counties, in Maryland, Carroll, Frederick, Northern Baltimore, Northwest Hartford, Northwest Howard, and Northwest Montgomery, and the following counties, in Virginia, Clark, Eastern Loudoun, Frederick, Northern Fauquier, Rappahannock, Warren, and Western Loudoun. Winter weather advisory remains in effect from 10 p.m. this evening to 1 p.m. Sunday. Snow expected. Total snow accumulations of 1 to 2 inches, with up to 4 inches locally. The areas affected include portions of central, north central, and northern Maryland, and northern and northwest Virginia. The hazardous weather conditions are expected from 10 p.m. this evening to 1 p.m. Sunday. Impacts. Plan on slippery road conditions. Additional details. The heaviest accumulations will be on non-paved surfaces. Slow down and use caution while traveling. When venturing outside, watch your first few steps taken on steps, sidewalks, and driveways, which could be icy and slippery, increasing your risk of a fall and injury. This is a statement from the National Weather Service. For the following county, District of Columbia, and the following counties, in Maryland, and the Arundel, Central and Southeast Howard, Central and Southeast Montgomery, Prince George's, Southeast Hartford, and Southern Baltimore, and the following...
Alrighty, guys, we are back. Sorry about the wait. So we're taking a look here at the current radar view in regard to what is going on here at the moment. So we're taking a look here at the things that's actually ongoing. So if you notice, we are dealing with a bit of wintry precipitation across bits of the region here, you know, all the way down from bits of Mississippi up and through bits of Tennessee. It looks like it's just kind of passing Nashville here at the moment, up and through bits of West Virginia. So like I said, all this is moving its way basically to the east, northeast. You know, all this will continue to move its way to the region here because we are seeing this cold front allow for all the snow to move its way through the region. So this is what we are currently taking a look here at the moment. Eventually, this will deliver some snowfall across bits of the Mid-Atlantic into the northeast. We'll go ahead and circle. So basically, we are going to see some snow kind of across these areas here, what we're taking a look at. So these are the areas we are probably going to see some snowfall across the region here. You know, mostly 1 to 3 inches across a lot of these places here. The heaviest snowfall we are going to see is kind of right in here. It's kind of where we are expecting to see the heaviest snowfall. This does include bits of, we'll actually take a look at that here right in a second. But this is basically just here on the Blue Ridge Mountains, basically just west here of the Blue Ridge Mountains. We are expecting the heaviest amount of accumulation to occur across the regions here. So like I said, this is basically across bits of here, you know, honestly, kind of around near Harrisonburg-ish area here, near Staunton, kind of right here. Now, according to your radar, it looks like we might actually be dealing with some stuff already at the moment. But, you know, honestly, things are just going to get worse here as we are moving on here. So, guys, like I said, if you're just now joining us, welcome. Hope you all are having a great day so far. Hope you guys have been staying safe. So we're taking a look here at the current radar view. We are seeing this cold front progress its way here, basically to the east here, you know, causing some winter weather to currently unfold across bits of the nation here, all the way down from bits of Jacksonville, Mississippi, up into, or say Jackson, Mississippi, up into, you know, bits of the Tennessee, Ohio Valley here, as well as bits of the Mid-Atlantic. So we are currently monitoring this. So let's go ahead and move on here, guys, to the future radar in regard to things. Because, like I said, we are expecting to see some snowfall across these regions here. So let's go ahead and move on here to our future radar in regard to things. So let's switch on over here. So this is what we're taking a look at. This is in regard to your NAM 3-kilometer model here. We are seeing a bit of snow that's set to impact a lot of the areas here, pretty much across the Mid-Atlantic. Now, you know, honestly, a lot of this heavy snow is kind of going to start kind of around the midnight hours here, kind of around 11, 12 in the morning. We're going to start to see some of that snow move its way into the region here across bits of northern Virginia. Pretty heavy snowfall is expected to occur here. This will all track its way up here, basically to the east, northeast. This is for 3 in the morning. We are going to start to see a lot of widespread snow that will be falling across these regions here, basically all the way across bits of West Virginia into northern Virginia, bits of Maryland, as well as bits of central and northern Delaware, bits of New Jersey, as well as bits of southeastern portion here of Pennsylvania. We are expecting to see this. So that is currently what we are seeing here at the moment. So let's go ahead and remove this comment here, because, you know, dumb bots always enjoying the videos. But yeah, that's what I'm saying here. So all this is going to track its way here to the northeast. Now, kind of around 12 o'clock in the afternoon, we are probably still going to be still be seeing some snow across bits of northern Virginia, into eventually into bits of the coastal bits of the northeast. We are still going to be seeing some snow here across the region. And we do track down here a little bit further. Let's go ahead and, I was missing my key there. So as we do progress here even further, Ty says, hello, y'all. What's up, Ty? Welcome to the live stream. Hope you're doing good. But like I said, you know, a lot of the snow is pretty much just going to, basically just pretty much going to be, you know, riding the coast here. Bits of New Jersey, bits of Long Island, New York, Connecticut, bits of Rhode Island, bits of Massachusetts, and kind of just riding the coast here, bits of southern Maine as well, as this area of low pressure basically tracks its way off here to the northeast, right off the coast here of the Mid-Atlantic. Ty says, looks like I am going to be most likely seeing snow on Super Bowl Sunday. Well, have fun with your snow, Ty, because I'm expected to get a little bit here tonight from this system here in northern Virginia, where I'm located from. So like I said, hope you enjoy your snow. For the people watching Super Bowl Sunday, hope you have a wonderful day on Sunday. I hope you all have a wonderful day any day. But we are currently monitoring here. This is the current future radar status. Like I said, we are currently monitoring 2 winter systems. This is a small Clipper system. This is the smallest part of the storm. We really need to look at here, we're going to switch on to right now. So this is for the system right here. We're going to get to accumulations here in a minute. But like I said, we are expecting another system to occur. An even larger system is going to take place. We'll take a look at that here right now. So switching on over here to the precipitation type, we're going to move to our national view so you can see the whole entire nation here. There we go. So this is what we are seeing here at the moment. This is what we are expecting. So we do track down here. We'll go ahead and get this going. So we do track down here. We get this first system that does impact the Mid-Atlantic, as we were currently looking at here at the moment. So this will move its way out of the region here. We'll get another area of low pressure coming in through. Really doing nothing here. You can see maybe some snowfall across the upper northwest, or the upper Midwest, I should say. Honestly, really nothing too crazy. But now watch this. All this moisture starts to kind of kick in place here across bits of the upper elevations of the Rockies. New area of low pressure develops across bits of the central and southern plains. And we do have this area of low pressure right here. You can kind of see it here, tracking its way to the east. So essentially, what we are seeing here, I'm going to go ahead and draw this to my best ability to kind of give you guys an idea of what is happening here. So these systems, they rotate counterclockwise. So just imagine that. They rotate counterclockwise like this. Basically what they do is they draw up, you can imagine, because they're moving counterclockwise, they're drawing up moisture here. Warm moisture here from the bits of the Gulf of Mexico. It's actually feeding its way into the system here. So this is currently going on at the moment. Now, on the back end of the system, we are having the opposite effect. So it's actually drawing down colder air from up north, because obviously the higher you go up, the more colder it gets. So it's actually drawing in colder air from behind this system here. So we're getting all this warm air rush ahead of it and all this cold air back behind it. So you can imagine all this northeast flow really starting to move its way in the region. And as we get more moisture, more precipitation, it means that the storms is going to strengthen a bit. So this will continue to track its way here to the region here. New area of low pressure kind of moving its way through, taking over, really starting to back that cold air behind it. Now the thing is, what is going to happen here is, since these systems rotate, like I said, counterclockwise, basically across, counterclockwise, these ones rotate clockwise. So we're likely going to get a jet of air kind of doing something like this, kind of across the regions here. So the air is kind of going to want to do something like this. We're going to get some ridging going on here across bits of the upper north, maybe bringing some warmer temperatures behind this. Let's go and see here. Ty says, do you think that an upcoming snowstorm for the Midwest kind of looks like the winter storm Landon? In terms of Landon, this one does not look anything like Landon. Wait, which one was Landon? Was Landon the long one? Yeah, but if so, Landon is a lot worse than this one. This one's not going to be as bad. A lot less ice for one. We're not expecting as much ice. We're not expecting as much snow. However, there is one major difference to this one that makes it worse. Severe weather. We are expecting the possibility of tornadoes. We'll get to that here in 1 second. So, like I said, we are going to get this spin going on in the atmosphere. We got some troughing going on here across bits of the region. This is going to allow for all of that warm air to fill in this area of low pressure, give it some moisture it needs to survive, get this cold air that really starts kind of doing some weird stuff behind this system here. Kind of backs out like this. So this is what we are going to see here. Now, I want to go ahead and touch up on the severe weather side of things, because I feel like that's the best thing we can do here. So we're going to take a look here at the severe potential according to your latest GFS model. But guys, I'm going to go ahead and say, if you are not already, consider hitting that subscribe button. That would be greatly appreciated. We're almost here at 381 subscribers, so thank you all so much for all your support. But we're taking a look here now at the thunderstorm potential in terms of things. So we're taking a look here at the mixed layer cape. So this is basically just simply, imagine it like this. Basically what a thunderstorm is basically just imagine a big engine. You need, basically an engine to run. You need a source of initiation. You need some fuel. So right now we're pretty much taking a look here at these storms' fuel. This is mixed layer cape, basically convective available potential energy. So as we notice, our little wind barbs here pointing to the southeast. So basically what this is showing here, these little things, they're kind of looking something like this, right? So they're kind of pointing down. So this is basically showing that the winds are moving down to the southeast here. So that's basically what we're seeing here. So as we continue to watch our wind barbs, you'll see that they quickly shift. They go ahead and quickly shift as we get high pressure starting to build in here. Actually allowing for that clockwise rotation to kind of take place. There you go. We got all our wind barbs starting to move up north here. We got all this rich moisture that the Gulf of Mexico has basically evaporated, because like I said, it's a lot more warmer down there. They get a lot more sunlight, which allows for a lot more evaporation to go on. So all this moisture draws its way in here to bits of the southeast. Now you'll notice across this purple and pink shaded areas here, this is actually our energy. This is actually our energy source. This is mixed layer cape. So we are seeing, our energy values here kind of around 500, 600, 700, maybe even near 800 joules per kilogram here. This is honestly definitely enough to produce severe weather, and it's definitely enough to drop a tornado. That is our big concern here. So like I said before, look at our wind barbs now inside this area here of convection. So basically, where this area of energy is located. So this is pointing its way to the northeast. Now remember this. I'm going to keep this marker here on the screen. Now we're going to take a look here. So this is basically at the mid-levels of the atmosphere, where this is blowing itself to the mid-levels of the atmosphere. So if we move here to the lower portions of the atmosphere, look at this. We got our flow moving south, basically up to the north. So, as you can see, we'll actually go ahead and draw this a little bit better, the way we usually do it. So we can see that it's actually moving its way to the north. So you notice that there is a change in wind direction as you go from the lower level. So it starts off pointing directly north. And as you go up, it turns to the northeast. So it starts off north, it shifts to the northeast as it goes up. What this is actually doing is, since it's doing this, it's actually causing spin to occur. Basically gets, possibility of tornadoes to occur. So what happens is, you just have your normal layers of air, so you have your lower level and you have your upper level, so they're kind of doing something like this, in a way. So what's going on with that is that once you get an updraft that forms, basically what happens is, a new thunderstorm develops. It pushes up. Okay, so you get that upwards pushing motion with all the, those layers of air moving against each other. So that actually allows for the tornado to drop down and hit the ground. Let's go and see here. Severe weather Sam, do you believe that multiple tornadoes could hit the southeast U.S. from the severe weather? Honestly, based off of what we are seeing here, my answer is yes. I do believe that we could see the possibility of some tornadoes. It would not be impossible if we did see some that are kind of mean tornadoes, but for the most part, our tornado threat is actually pretty high. Because look at this. This is what we call the lower level jet stream. We are seeing a lot of this really strong air shooting it directly north. So this is actually really, really strong motion. And we're talking 40, 50 knots of shear, which is definitely enough to produce severe weather here. So yes, we have our instability. We'll go ahead and line this up. So let's go ahead and kind of grab our heaviest shear here. So we'll go ahead and kind of circle our 40, 50 knot wind shear right here at the moment. And we're going to go back to our convection here. That's not what we want to look at. We look at mixer cape. Okay, so we get all of our instability starting to kind of pop off here, especially over this next frame here. We can really start to see, all the instability kind of lining up where all the shear is located. And as you can see, now the shear across the mid-levels is moving up to the northeast compared to the north. So there is instability, there is enough shear. Now we need to look at moisture. So to kind of put the icing on the cake, we need to look at moisture. Now what we're looking for is your dew points in the 50s and 60s, because you need some, pretty rich dew points to allow for tornadoes to occur. So, here we go. Dew points. Talking 60s. We're here in the 60s. We're talking upper 60s, some areas here. Maybe even some instances that maybe up to near 70s. So we are seeing the possibility. We have our moisture, we have our instability, and we have our shear. So the shear is basically the continuous cycle of, your engine, quote unquote. Basically, your fuel is your cape. So we have our instability in terms of cape and our fuel. Basically, like I said, the winds are essentially kind of like the spark plug if you consider it an engine. Keep the thing going. And as well as your moisture, or basically your moisture here is like the oil, like I say. It's kind of there to keep things going. So we have all three of those ingredients to produce severe weather, and unfortunately, this does include tornadoes for the region here. So this is for the 17th. So we need to continue monitoring this quite closely. This has been the trend over the last several model runs. We are very, very confident. I would honestly say the most confident we can be, unfortunately. Just due to the fact of how many model runs are supporting this, how many models are supporting this, and what we've been seeing here with the latest outputs. It is showing the possibility that, honestly, guys, we're looking to see a decent amount of severe weather being possible. So here we go. Here's another example of what I'm talking about. So across the region here, we see our shear moving its way really, really strong to the northeast here. You can really start to see it. So we have that northeaster flow here, like I said, moving its way up here to the northeast. And as we move down to the lower levels of the atmosphere, we have the opposite going on. We have north flow, basically northern flow. So we have northeast versus northern flow, which allows for that change and basically that turn in the atmosphere to occur, which is what sparks tornadoes to occur. Unfortunately, that is what we are looking at for right now. Or that's what we're looking at here for right now. But guys, honestly, that is what we are dealing with here at the moment. So like I said, guys, please stay safe with this system. If you have any questions at all regarding winter weather, regarding severe weather, let me know. Because like I said, knowledge is the most important thing you can have. Basically, it's the best thing. Make sure you have a plan. Make sure that you are well prepared and well equipped for the system because, like I said, not only are we expecting winter weather out of this, ice and snow, but we're also expecting the severe side as well, with potentially some tornadoes being concerned. But guys, we're going to go on break here for a minute. 5-10 minutes, we'll be back here. If you guys do want to support the channel and donate, we do have our link in the description as well as on the chat. We greatly appreciate it. It helps out our channel so much. If you guys are not already, hit the subscribe button. That'd be greatly appreciated. We promise to give you guys all the latest information regarding these upcoming events. But guys, we'll be back here in about 5 or 10 minutes or so. So hang tight, go grab a snack. We'll be back here shortly.
For the following county, District of Columbia, and the following counties in Maryland and the Arundel, Central and Southeast Howard, Central and Southeast Montgomery, Prince George's, Southeast Hartford and Southern Baltimore, and the following counties in Virginia, Albemarle, Arlington Falls Church and Alexandria, Culpeper, Fairfax, Greene, Madison, Nelson, Orange, Prince William, Manassas and Manassas Park and Southern Fauquier. Winter weather advisory remains in effect from 1 a.m. to 4 p.m. Sunday. Snow expected. Total snow accumulations of 1 to 2 inches with up to 4 inches locally. The areas affected include the District of Columbia, portions of Central, Northeast and Northern Maryland and Central, Northern and Northwest Virginia. The hazardous weather conditions are expected from 1 a.m. to 4 p.m. Sunday. Impacts. Plan on slippery road conditions. Additional details. The heaviest accumulations will be on non-paved surfaces. Slow down and use caution while traveling. When venturing outside, watch your first few steps taken on steps, sidewalks, and driveways, which could be icy and slippery, increasing your risk of a fall and injury. The latest river levels in the Potomac, Shenandoah, and Rappahannock basins are as follows. All reports are current as of 6 p.m. and are measured in feet. For Potomac River at Shepherdstown, 4.2. Potomac River at Point of Rocks, 3.6. Potomac River at Edwards Ferry, 6.1. Potomac River at Little Falls, 4.2. North Fork Shenandoah River near Strasburg, 2.6. South Fork Shenandoah River at Front Royal, 2.4. Shenandoah River at Millville, 3.7. Rappahannock River at Remington, 3.9. Rappahannock River above Fredericksburg, 2.8. Rapidan River near Culpeper, 1.5. Opekun Creek near Martinsburg, 2.5. Seneca Creek at Dawsonville, 2.3. Goose Creek near Leesburg, 2.2. Monocacy River at Frederick, 3.0. The 7 p.m. observation in Washington. At Reagan National Airport, cloudy skies. The temperature was 53 degrees Fahrenheit, or 12 degrees Celsius. Dew point 29. Humidity was 39%. Winds were north at 10 miles an hour, and the barometric pressure was 30.09 inches, or 1,018.9 millibars, and rising. Now for some observations from the surrounding area. At BWI Airport, mostly cloudy skies. Temperature 53. Winds northwest at 7 miles an hour. At Charlottesville, cloudy skies. 57. At Dulles Airport, cloudy. Temperature 52 degrees. Winds north at 9 miles an hour. At Fredericksburg, mostly cloudy. Temperature 53. At Martinsburg, cloudy skies. 47. Winds west at 14 miles an hour, gusting to 21. At Norfolk, fair. Temperature 59 degrees. At Ocean City, fair skies. It was 47 degrees. At Quantico, fair skies. Temperature 55. Winds north at 10 miles an hour. For Richmond, fair skies. It was 57. At Roanoke, cloudy. Temperature 53 degrees. At Winchester, cloudy. Temperature 45. At New York, fair skies. 50. At Philadelphia, cloudy skies. 52. At Raleigh, fair skies. 62. Now for a few observations on the waters. At Washington Channel, the wind was north at 4 knots, and the water temperature was 40 degrees. At Piney Point, the wind was northeast at 5 knots. At Thomas Point, the wind was north at 6 knots, and the water temperature was 40 degrees. Here is a look at the weather features that will affect the region over the next several days. Chillier conditions are expected behind a cold front for the end of the weekend. A wave of low pressure will develop along the boundary, bringing a period of snow to the area late this evening and into Sunday. Dry and cold conditions are expected early next week as Canadian high pressure builds overhead. By Wednesday, the area of high pressure exits offshore, leading to a rapid warm-up for the mid to later portions of the week. A strong cold front will bring a threat for some locally heavy rainfall on Thursday into Friday. Now for the official National Weather Service forecast for the Washington metro area and the surrounding KHB listening area. Tonight, a chance of rain until midnight, then snow and rain after midnight. Snow accumulation around an inch. Lows around 30. North winds 5 to 10 miles an hour with gusts up to 20 miles an hour. Chance of precipitation near 100%. Sunday, snow, mainly in the morning. Additional snow accumulation around an inch. Total snow accumulation up to 3 inches. Highs in the mid-30s. North winds 5 to 10 miles an hour with gusts up to 25 miles an hour. Chance of snow near 100%. Sunday night, partly cloudy until midnight, then becoming mostly cloudy. Lows in the lower 20s. North winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. Monday, mostly sunny. Highs in the lower 30s. Northwest winds 10 to 15 miles an hour with gusts up to 30 miles an hour. Monday night, partly cloudy until midnight, then becoming mostly clear. Lows around 20. Northwest winds around 5 miles an hour. Tuesday, mostly clear. Highs in the lower 40s. Wednesday, mostly cloudy. Highs in the lower 50s. Lows in the mid-40s. Thursday, rain. Highs in the mid-60s. Lows in the upper 30s. Chance of rain 80%. Friday, partly cloudy. Highs in the upper 40s. Lows in the mid-20s. Saturday, mostly clear. Highs in the upper 40s. Lows in the mid-20s. This hazardous weather outlook is for the Maryland portion of the Chesapeake Bay, tidal Potomac River, and I-95 corridor through central Maryland, northern Virginia, and District of Columbia. Day 1, tonight. A winter weather advisory is in effect starting at 1 a.m. for the Baltimore and Washington metropolitan areas. Days 2 through 7, Sunday through Friday. A winter weather advisory continues until Sunday afternoon for the Baltimore and Washington metropolitan areas. There is a potential for heavy rain on Thursday into Thursday night, which may produce isolated instances of flooding or flash flooding. Spotter information statement. Spotter activation is not expected at this time. Now for the National Weather Service marine forecast for the Chesapeake Bay from Sandy Point to North Beach. Tonight, north winds 10 to 15 knots with gusts to 25 knots. Waves 2 to 3 feet. A chance of rain until midnight, then snow with a chance of rain after midnight with visibility 1 to 3 nautical miles. Sunday, north winds 15 to 20 knots with gusts to 25 knots. Waves 3 feet. Snow. Visibility 1 to 3 nautical miles. Sunday night, north winds 10 to 15 knots with gusts to 25 knots. Waves 3 feet. Monday, northwest winds 10 to 15.
Alrighty, guys. Welcome back to live stream. I hope y'all are doing good. Sorry about the wait, guys. So, we're going to go over this one more time for you guys. Then we're going to call it a night for now. But we'll go over this one more time, what's going on right now, and what we can expect. Like, right now, if you guys have any questions at all, feel free to throw them down in the chat below if we try to get to them for you guys. But we're going to start off here looking back at the radar view. So this is our current view across the nation. This is currently what we are dealing with here at the moment. We are seeing a bit of snow that's actually kicking up here from this cold front we are actually seeing here at the moment. So basically, we are seeing snow all the way from bits of Mississippi and through bits of Tennessee, Kentucky, bits of Ohio, most Virginia here. Now, all this will eventually shift its way up here to the northeast here. Basically to the east-northeast. So we'll continue to see all of the snow eventually pass by these regions here. So we are going to see some snow eventually move its way to the region here. So we're going to continue monitoring this over the next little bit. Whenever this does happen. So we'll continue monitoring this here for a little bit, guys. But this is essentially what we are dealing here right now. So we're going to go ahead and switch on over, guys, to our future radar in regard to things. And we're going to look at this in terms of what we can expect. So here's our future radar view, guys. this is currently what we are seeing here at the moment. So we do track down here in time. So I didn't mean to click on that one. We do track down here in time. So we are kind of expecting a lot of the snow to really kind of kick off here, kind of around bits of around midnight, 12 o'clock in the morning is whenever this frame is. Across bits of northern Virginia, probably a little bit earlier, some snow showers. We actually are currently seeing the system impact the region here. But this all will track its way here basically to the east-northeast, eventually growing in size. Now this is around 6 o'clock in the morning here. We're going to see some snow all the way down from bits of the mid-Atlantic into the northeast. Now like I said, this is kind of just going to ride the coast here. Kind of ride the coast here of bits of the northeast. It's not really going to go too far inland, and we're really not expecting too much snowfall out of this. However, stay tuned, because down the line we are expecting an even larger system to occur. Heavy ice, snow, and unfortunately severe weather with tornadoes being a concern. Not from this system, but from the one that's coming after this. So we continue to track our way down here. This is until 12 o'clock in the afternoon. So we're still going to be seeing some snow across bits of the mid-Atlantic, all the way in through bits of the coast northeast. Now this will be completely out of the way here. As we move here into bits of the evening hours here. So kind of this way out. This is for 8 o'clock. We are still seeing some snow, maybe across bits of the region here in the mid-Atlantic still, but mostly off the coast for the most part. And we are still going to be seeing some snow across bits of the northeast still over the next little bit. So this is what we are expecting to occur in regard to your future radar. Now guys, let's move on here to our actual our models here. So let's move on here to the GFS model in regard to things, because like I said, we are expecting a secondary system that's going to be much more severe to occur. So the first system does impact the region here. We get some snow that does occur. Honestly, this is kind of expected at this point. So as we do track down here in time, we get all this moisture. You can kind of see it going off right here. We have an area of low pressure that's kind of located right in here currently. Let's go see. Caleb says, is Texas getting tornadoes on Wednesday? On eastern part of Texas has the possibility of severe weather, yes. We'll get to that more here in 1 second. So we are seeing this area of low pressure basically track its way up here, basically to the east at the moment. We have all of this moisture is currently right up in here. So this is what we're taking a look at. Now pay attention to these areas here at the moment. So as we do track down here in time, here's where really things start to kick off. We get this cold front moves its way through bits of eastern Texas. So to answer your question, Caleb, this is impacting on, basically this is impacting for the 17th, kind of across the late hours, the evening hours here on the 16th, into the early morning hours here of the 17th. Now, this will draw up some severe weather across the eastern side of Texas, so yes. We are expecting it also across bits of Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, bits of Alabama, as this cold front can really see this very strong cold front move its way through the region here. So this is something we need to watch out. But all this moisture will continue to shoot its way through the region. We'll get some snow back into the system because, like I said, how these systems work is essentially you have all this warm air drive its way up here, basically to the northeast, and then you have all the cold air that backs its way behind the system, basically to beds. The backside. So we're getting all that cold air starting to interact with all that moisture we do have, actually allowing for basically a lot of that, that rain to transition into snow and ice, and as this area of low pressure tracks its way up here to the northeast. So this is what we are looking at the moment. So we are expecting some pretty heavy snow to occur, as well as the threat of severe weather to occur as well. So we are expecting this, a lot of heavy snow and ice to fall across bits of maybe the eastern portion here of the Central Plains, as well as bits of the Midwest, and through bits of, basically into bits of, part of the Ohio Valley here. Let's go see here. Caleb says, the 16th is my birthday. Well, happy early birthday to you. That is here. The 16th is the day you're supposed to be getting severe weather on eastern Texas. So hope you stay safe. Hope you all are okay with the system, because like I said, we are expecting some impacts to occur out of this. Like I said, Caleb, stay safe. Definitely we are expecting some impacts to occur with severe weather, pretty much starting across bits of eastern Texas. Kind of where we are seeing this. So all this will track its way up here to the northeast, eventually allowing for some heavy snow to fall, across bits of, like I said, the plains, and through bits of the Midwest, eventually into bits of the Ohio Valley. Maybe even, for the most part across the northeast, it's relatively going to be just rain, because you're kind of right here under the system where the warmer air is. So not really expecting too much accumulations across the northeast part of the United States. However, bits of southern portions of Ontario, we are probably going to see a lot of heavy snow across these regions here. So that is what we are currently seeing here at the moment. Now let's go ahead and take a look here at the accumulation factor between what your GFS model has to say. Now I didn't look at this before because I wanted to save this towards the end. So we're going to take a look here at the GFS model. This is your long-range American model in regard to snowfall. And I'm going to go ahead and say you really can't trust these models 100%. So what you see, don't think that that's exactly what you're going to get, because these models do change quite frequently, I want to say, unfortunately. But as we do get closer to the system here, you'll have a lot more better information. So First system impacts the Mid-Atlantic. Honestly, this one's a little more aggressive in the fact, kind of around this pink shade area here, maybe 6+ inches of snow, 3 to 5 across the dark blue, 1 to 3 kind of across the light blue. Now watch this. As we do tracking here in time, here's where the heavy snow starts to kick in across the Midwest and through bits of the Ohio Valley. Now, kind of across these pink shaded areas here, we are seeing a possibility of maybe even up and over a half a foot of snow to occur across the regions here. So, honestly, in terms of snow, it's a decent amount of impacts. It's nothing too extreme, but it's something we need to monitor here over the next few days here. Now, in regard to ice here, we'll actually go ahead and take a look at that here right now. Ice is also going to be a concern here, unfortunately. It's going to be a concern here. So as we do track down here in time, as we do see this, we'll start to see some ice accumulating around the side here. Now, we are expecting some pretty decent accumulations according to your GFS model. We're talking potentially maybe up to near 1/10, 2/10 of an inch. Definitely enough to cause some impacts. Definitely up to a light glaze being possible across areas here. Now, that is according to one-year models. Now, let's switch on over here, guys. We're going to take a look here at one more model in regard to things. Now, like I said, there is a bit of differences between these models, as you're probably about to see here. So, what we can see is that there's less snow across the Mid-Atlantic from this upcoming system, or the one that's about to happen currently right now. But what we are seeing is that there is still some similarities in the fact that we are seeing the possibility of, maybe up to 6+ inches of snow across bits of the, southern portion here of Michigan, 3 to 5 kind of across the dark blue. This does include bits of Indiana, bits of Ohio as well, across those regions there. Now, in regard to ice, this model has always kind of seemed to be the worst. This was always kind of been seen to be the most aggressive model in terms of things. I don't know if it is this time, and yes, it is. It's definitely really aggressive here. So we are seeing a possibility of maybe up to 4/10 of an inch. But remember, your GFS model didn't really show anything over 2/10 of an inch here. Let's go and see here. Let's go and see. Caleb says, will Dallas be in a severe warning on Wednesday too? It's kind of hard to tell that, but honestly, you should probably monitor this because we might, honestly, we might actually have some severe weather across the areas here. So Dallas, you're kind of pushing it. You're kind of right there on that boundary between what we could see severe weather and what we are kind of just seeing, not really much. So this is what we are seeing. This model is way more aggressive in terms of things here. So we do track down here in time. Maybe some across the northeast, but honestly, like I said, we're mostly in the warmer air here across bits of the northeast. So a lot of the wintry precipitation is kind of just going to remain out of those areas here. So now we move on to the National Weather Service blend of models in regard to things. This one is probably the one you should trust the most because, like I said, basically how these work is you basically have all of your models. They kind of blend in together here, giving you the best idea in terms of what we might expect here down the line. We'll go ahead and switch this here to National Weather Service blend. So if we're going to trust any of these models, this is probably the one you should trust the most. So we're going to start off here with the snowfall because, like I said, we are expecting a little bit of snowfall to occur out of the system here. Now, between what the models have to say, 3 to 5 across bits of northeastern portions here of Missouri, southeastern portions here of Iowa, through bits of bits of Illinois here. Now, we are expecting a little bit more, 6+ inches across bits of the central and southern portion here of Michigan, potentially seeing a decent amount of snow across these regions there. Kind of just starting here across bits of Kansas. That's kind of where we are expecting. So this is our current trend. This is our current current information regarding this system. So we need to continue monitoring this, guys, because like I said, obviously safety is the #1 concern here because we are expecting to have a lot of heavy impacts out of the system here. So guys, like I said, please stay safe. If you have any questions, feel free to throw them down in the chat below. I'll definitely try to get to them for you guys because, like I said, safety is obviously the #1 concern here. So we're going to go ahead and move on over here to the thunderstorm thing because, like I said, we are expecting some thunderstorms to occur. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a look here at basically the fuel, the storm's fuel in terms of thing. This is basically your, basically your instability in terms of things. So we are seeing, a lot of these wind barbs start to shoot their way up here to the north, eventually bringing up some of that, instability. So this does include bits of Dallas. Yes, Dallas is kind of right here. You can kind of see here. We are seeing the possibility of enough energy to actually cause some severe weather in thunderstorms, maybe even tornadoes being a concern. Let's go and see here. Lewis says that we have between 2 or 3 feet of snow still on the ground, even though we've had a few days of sun. That's crazy. That is a lot of snow, Lua. I'm just glad to see that you are safe. I wish I had that much snow, but unfortunately, I haven't really been seeing too much so far this year. So, like I said, we do track down here in time. So basically what's happening here is we get all this energy, starts moving its way into bits of the southeastern side here, basically into the southeast, I should say. So all this instability starts to kind of build in. We're talking values here, maybe even up to 800 joules per kilogram. So basically, that is enough to support severe weather here. So as we notice, this is basically across the mid-levels of the atmosphere. So basically, this is moving its way here to the northeast. The winds are moving to the northeast. Now, if you look at the winds at the lower levels of the atmosphere, towards the surface, there's actually a bit of difference. These are actually moving more north. So basically what's happening is at the surface, you have the winds going north. And as you go up in the atmosphere, the wind direction changes, which basically allows for a spin-off to occur. So any thunderstorm that develops has the possibility, unfortunately, of causing a tornado because we have, the instability, we have the shear, we have everything we need for tornadoes to occur. Now, there's one more ingredient. This is your dew points. We are looking for dew points here in the 50s and 60s. 60s is a little bit more better here. So let's look at this. Let's look here at the dew points. And honestly, there you go. Dew points here in the 60s. We're talking maybe even some instances near the 70s, which is definitely supportive of severe weather to occur, especially get some tornadoes kicking off. You need some moisture here at the surface, and we just have that. You can see that where this cold front moves its way through the region here. Basically all this drier air behind it and all this more moisture-filled air in front of it. So we are seeing this system expected to impact these areas. So, like I said, guys, please stay safe with this. We are expecting several different impacts of basically weather to occur between snow, ice, as well as severe weather as well. We are expecting that to occur. But anyways, guys, honestly, I think that is going to call it a stream here. If you guys have any questions, now's the time to answer. Now's the time to ask them because we're getting ready to wrap up the live stream here. If you guys are new to the channel, consider subscribing here. We're almost here. We're trying to reach our goal of 500 subscribers by the end of February. I believe we can do it, guys. So if you're not already, absolutely crush that subscribe button. That'd be greatly appreciated. As well as leave a like. It'd be greatly appreciated. So like I said, guys, if you have any questions, throw them down right now. Anyways, that's pretty much all we are talking about right now. I do plan on going live whenever we get this big winter storm to come in, basically for the 16th and 17th. Let's go and see here. Lewis says, I will send you pictures tomorrow if we still have it on the ground. Okay, Lewis, that's greatly appreciated. But anyways, guys, honestly, that's going to wrap it up for the live stream today. If you guys want the latest on weather information, you can always subscribe to our channel. Make sure you have your post notifications turned on because we do give daily weather updates across the whole entire nation here. If you have any questions about this, feel free to leave a chat down below, and I will definitely get to it for you guys. Lewis says, good night, everyone. So good night, Lua. Hope you have a great night. Same goes to all of you other guys. I hope you all have a wonderful night tonight. But anyways, guys, I think that is going to wrap it up. So we're going to go ahead and go to the ending screen here. So guys, like I said, thank you all so much for joining. Thank you guys for all of your support. You guys are the best. I really, really appreciate all of your support. I hope you guys stay safe. Have any questions, you can always comment down in our videos here. We'll definitely reply to your guys' answers here. Popcorn says bye. We'll see you later, Popcorn. I'm glad to see that you joined here. Alrighty, guys, so I hope you all have a wonderful night. Like I said, if you are new to the channel, consider subscribing. We'll continue to give you guys storm coverage. Like I said, we are going to be going live whenever this big system is expected to impact the nation. But guys, that's going to wrap it up for the live stream.